Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Lancer Recap. I hope all of you have had an amazing spring break and used the time to relax as I have. We got a lot to talk about, so let's not waste any more time and hop right into it. Cue the intro. Starting with the softball team, they come off 2 weeks worth of games, beginning at the Tennessee Classic. They started off in March 2nd, beating Stetson 9-6 and Brown 6-4. Then on the 3rd, a rematch against Brown left them victorious again 4-0, then losing the number 8 ranked team in the nation, Tennessee. Final score 12-1. Lastly, on the 4th, they lost to Tennessee again, this time 7-0. A quick pit stop at home in Farmville, Virginia had them face UVA in their home opener, which resulted in a loss 4-1. The team then took part in the Tiger Invitational, which started on March 8th, first up against Fordham. It went 3-2, then against Minnesota, which resulted in a loss 6-1. On the 9th, it was first against Mercer, who won 5-0, followed against Clemson, who is ranked 10th in the nation, which the Lancers unfortunately lost 9-1. The last game was a rematch against Fordham, who were able to get revenge on Longwood and win 7-3. Our Lancer of the game throughout the 2 weeks is the sophomore from Shawnee, Kansas, Maggie Chapin. With her at the pitcher's mound, the team has had their best record at 7-7, with 28 strikeouts during that span, all of this in 36.8 innings. Shout out 00. The team currently sits at 7-16 and look to begin Big South Conference matches, starting on the 16th against Gardner-Webb with a doubleheader, then finishing up on the 17th. Let's show the Big South what we're made up. As always, we wish our Lancers the best of luck. The baseball team started off on the 28th and faced the number 17 ranked team in the nation, North Carolina. That match ended 12-3 in favor of the Tar Heels. After that, it was a weekend series against Kennesaw State, started on the 2nd of March, a doubleheader that had Longwood losing 5-4 and 2-1. But on the 3rd, Longwood won 6-1. A quick pit stop against Elon had them lose 11-6, which was then followed by a weekend series against South Carolina, who is ranked 21st in the nation. Longwood unfortunately cannot get over the hump as they lost 10-0, 10-2, and 22-6. Our Lancer of the game through the past 2 weeks is the senior from Mechanicsville, Virginia, Hayden Harris. During this stretch, he was able to have 3 runs batted in, 3 runs himself, and 11 hits, having a team high batting average of .382 and an OPS of .951. The team currently sits at 7-8 and look to have a rematch against VCU at home on the 12th, which took place yesterday, but I'll recap that next week. On the 13th, they remain in Farmville to face William and Mary. Then Big South play begins on the 15th in Rock Hill, South Carolina in the series against Winthrop, with games also on the 16th and 17th. We're wishing our Lancers the best of luck. The Lacrosse team comes off 3 matches in the past 2 weeks as they begin towards the end of February on the 28th, where the Monarchs of ODU visited the Lancers in a match that was close until the end. ODU wins 11-7. Our Lancer of the game is Sophia Paz, who had 4 goals on 5 shots. After that, the team took a trip to Ohio beginning on March 7th, where they faced Kent State in a close game, unfortunately losing 13-12. Our Lancer of this game is Riley McDonald, who put on a show with 5 goals on 8 shots, also adding an assist. Lastly, against Youngstown State, the Lancers pulled off the victory 16-10, putting themselves in the win column, with the Lancer of the game being Riley McDonald yet again, scoring 4 goals on 5 shots, also tagging on an assist. 2 great back-to-back games for number 13. The Lacrosse team sit with a record of 1-4 and look to create a winning streak in the upcoming days. Starting on the 13th, they'll face George Mason at home at Elizabeth Berger Jackson Field, followed by a trip to Williamsburg on the 17th against William and Mary. We wish the team the best of luck. The women's basketball team had 2 games left in the regular season. First up against Gardner-Webb, which ended up in a W for the Lancers, 67-57. Stephanie Davis puts up a career-high 14 points along with 3 rebounds and 2 steals. Malaya Brown puts up 15 points and 4 rebounds. And our Lancer of the game, Ann Hamilton Leroy, puts up 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal, shooting 8-12 from the field, all in 32 minutes. After facing the Bulldogs, the Lancers then matched up against High Point for the final game of the season, and what ended up being a close game, the Panthers were able to pull off the win against the Lancers 61-58. Some standouts include Francis Ulysse, who finished with 8 points and 5 rebounds. Adriana Ship-Davis ended the night with 12 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. Malaya Brown had a team-high 13 points with along 7 rebounds and 2 blocks. And their Lancer of the game, Ataifo Nsinabalu notches her second collegiate career double-double, ended the night with 10 points and 14 rebounds, also adding 1 steal, shooting 5 to 12 from the field, all in 24 minutes. The Lancers finished with their season with an overall record of 9-21 and a Big South record of 6-10. This placed them 7th in the standings in a quarterfinals matchup against USC Upstate. But before we recap that game, we have some awards to get through. Janae Turner earned an honorable mention for the Big South All-Conference team. Ataifo Nsinabalu earned Big South All-Freshman team honors, and Bailey Wheelings earned Big South All-Academic team honors. Congrats to our Lancers. The stage was set. The Longwood Lancers were set to face the USC Upstate Spartans in the quarterfinals. After the first half, things were kept close, with the Spartans only having an 8-point lead. But Upstate's intense defense held Longwood to only 12 points in the second half, as they were able to light it up from downtown, finishing the game with 9 threes to Longwood's 0. Lancers unfortunately lose 60-37. Our Lancer of the game is Ann Hamilton Leroy. In her final game for Longwood, she notched a team-high 11 points along with 2 rebounds and 2 steals, shooting 5 and 9 from the field, all in 29 minutes. Here at Lancer Recap, we wish nothing but the best for number 30, as she has left a mark in Longwood history. The men's basketball team also had 2 games to finish their season. First up against Gardner-Webb, they had their backs against the wall as they fought all the way back down 22, but weren't able to get over the hump. Lancers unfortunately lose 72-69, a heartbreaker for Longwood. D.A. Houston was able to put up 10 points, 2 assists, and 3 steals. Emmanuel Richards, the freshman, put up a career-high 13 points along with 5 rebounds. Waylon Napper all put up a team-high 14 points, also added 5 rebounds and 4 assists. And our Lancer of the game, Elijah Tucker, who finishes with 11 points, 9 rebounds, and 1 steal, shooting 5 and 9 from the field in 27 minutes. Tucker was a huge piece in the 22-point comeback, able to dominate the glass in the second half for those second-chance points. After Gardner-Webb, it was back home in the Joan Perry Brock Center to face the number 1 seeded team, High Point. A battle all the way to the final second, with it being tied 72 apiece. Waylon Napper, with 5.6 seconds left in the game, bursted past his defender and was able to scoop in the buzzer beater layup with the right hand. Lancers win 74-72 in a spectacular way to end the season. The standouts from the game include Zeman Sapala, who finishes with 13 points and 9 rebounds. D.A. Houston, who ends the night with 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Jonathan Massey off the bench puts a team-high 16 points, also adding 5 rebounds and 1 steal. And our Lancer of the game is no surprise here. It was nap time in the JPB once Waylon Napper put the Panthers to sleep. Ended the night with 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists, shooting 6 of 18 from the floor, all in 36 minutes, providing the first of many game winners in the JPB. Along with the massive win, the team also shared another special memory as the team honored their seniors, Waylon Napper, D.A. Houston, Michael Christmas, and Jesper Granlund. All being honored by the team, but also here at Lancer Recap as we give them a massive thank you for the exciting highlights, defensive stops, long-range threes, and powerful dunks. We wish nothing but the best for all of you in your futures. But before we get to the madness, we got to present the awards. Waylon Napper earns Big South Second Team All-Conference honors. Emmanuel Richards earns Big South All-Freshman Team honors. And Jesper Granlund earns Big South All-Academic Team honors. Congrats to our Lancers. The team finishes with an overall record of 21-13 and 6-10 in the Big South, which placed them 5th in the standings, first up against Winthrop. In the quarterfinals, the Lancers were able to beat the Eagles 69-56 with contributions from Jonathan Massey, who finishes with 10 points and 3 rebounds, Emmanuel Richards, who ends the night with 11 points and 5 rebounds. In our Lancer of the game, Waylon Napper once again putting on a show. 20 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals on 8 of 18 from the field, all in 33 minutes. Napper has earned the name Mr. March. After taking down the Eagles, it was against the number 1 seeded Panthers yet again. Taking place on the 9th, 7 days after Napper was able to put the game away, High Point was not playing around, having a 15-point lead in the second half. But just like I've been saying all season, Never count out the Lancers, fighting all the way back, eventually having High Point force overtime. But the Lancers defense overcame the Panthers. Lancers win 80-79. Michael Christmas finishes with 12 points and 7 rebounds. Elijah Tucker ends the game with 13 points and 4 rebounds. Waylon Napper in 41 minutes puts up 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists. And our Lancer of the game, Zeman Zapala. The big man ended with 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks, only missing twice, shooting 6 of 8 from the field, all in 16 minutes. The stage is set. It's the 5th-seeded Longwood Lancers versus the 2nd-seeded UNC Asheville Bulldogs. Longwood came firing out the gates and never looked back. Lancers win in a dominated fashion, 85-59. Your Longwood Lancers are dancing once again in 3 years as they find themselves in the NCAA tournament. 5 players end up in double figures. Jonathan Massey off the bench scores 11 points along with 3 rebounds. Jesper Granlund also scores 11 points along with 2 assists. Zeman Zapala, in the absence of Elijah Tucker, puts up 17 points and 7 rebounds. Michael Christmas puts up a team-high 18 points, also adding 4 rebounds and 2 assists. And our Lancer of the game, once again, Waylon Napper takes it home, finishing with 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block, and a new tournament championship game record with 11 assists, shooting 3 of 5 from the field, all in 35 minutes of play. Taking home MVP honors and marking his name down in history. In 1 week, Longwood will find out who they face in the tournament. Until then, it's time to prepare and get ready. As always, we wish the team the best of luck and remind everyone, do not count out the Lancers. Ladies and gentlemen, that was quite a recap, but I hope you have all enjoyed episode 14 of Lancer Recap. Again, I hope you all have had a well-rested and deserved spring break and are ready for all the sports news to come flying back in. I've been your host, Jose Ramos Flores. I cannot wait to see all your beautiful, lovely faces next week. Bye-bye.